Hello and a very, very warm welcome. My name is Anne-Marie. Welcome to our session together tonight. We'll have a lovely hour of Pilates again together. It's a pleasure to be here. So all that we need for tonight's session, we need a mat and we need a head cushion or head pad, yoga block, anything like that will be perfect. Maybe a folded up towel, perfect. As always, I've not planned this session with any injuries in mind. So please, if anything doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel comfortable, it doesn't work for you, please do an alternative, do an easier option, take a break, take a stretch, do what you need to do, but please, please, please listen to your body and have a drink if you need to, and make sure that you've got plenty of room to work in as best you can. But whatever room you do have is nice and safe, nothing to fall over or bump into, or probably children running under your feet or something like that. Okay, all right. Fantastic, so let's get going. Well, we're going to start, as we always do, making sure that we're properly aligned before we get going. So let's start getting our feet underneath our hip bones here, and we're just going to roll forwards and back. So just allow the toes to stretch out, really allow the fascia, those tissues surrounding all the feet and the muscles in the feet, just have a really nice stretch and release. So as you gently ease forwards, coming up onto your toes, you're going to feel your body weight ease forwards and then coming back into the heels. Lovely. I want to let those settle right in the middle, and from here I just suggest you rock your feet out and in, just giving some movement into those ankles. Feels really good. Really, really nice. Okay, and letting those come to settle in the middle, so the body weight is directly over the middle of the feet. Moving up through the legs, the knees are nice and soft, and we're coming up to the pelvis. I'm just going to get you to tuck your hips under and over, so allowing that pelvis just to tilt like that bowl of water. The water's flowing out at the front, flowing out at the back. And as well tonight, if you want to, you can draw some little circles with the pelvis, so you're going side to side as well, really getting the motion all the way through the bottom area of the spine and going in the opposite direction, so just tiny little circles, just allowing that pelvis to tilt in all the directions in whatever speed works for you. And coming back to the forwards and backwards movement, allowing that to settle so that the bowl of water sits and nothing comes out of the front or the back. Wonderful. So from here, the ribs are directly over the hips, standing up nice and tall, the tailbone pulls down, the top of the head pulls up, you've got this long, long spine, nicely stretched, and I want you to bring the shoulders forwards, up, back, and ease them down into place, so really pull them down towards the back pockets. The shoulders are open, you've got a little stretch across the front of the chest, the shoulder blades squeeze together gently at the back, excuse me. And your hands will naturally either point forwards or maybe gently in towards the side of your legs, but just feel those shoulders easing back. So don't allow that natural tendency as we spend the day crouched in front of things, maybe in front of a computer or in front of your phone or a book or whatever you're using, just with that closed stance. Let's open it right up tonight. Okay, and you should be looking forward, chin looking straight forward, and feeling nice, long, tall, neutral stance. Fantastic. So we'll open into our full and wide breathing. We're going to go for our thoracic breathing, which is opening out through the rib cage. So if you want to, fingertips just touching in the middle of the rib cage, and as you breathe in, feel the ribs ease apart. Breathing out as they come back together, just like that. Wonderful. Large pair of bellows, feeling that movement into the rib cage, a real opening of the lungs and allowing the air in and out, full and wide. Okay, and we'll think about our core contraction tonight. Tonight I'm going to remind you about that hipster belt. So imagine a hipster belt with 10 notches on the belt. On your next full and wide breath in, I'm just going to encourage you to tighten that belt. So breathe in and squeeze that belt to the tightest notch. It's all really eased in together, squeezed in at the front, pulled up in the middle, and release. Release it there. Just have a couple of breaths to relax through. Okay. And When you're ready on the next breath in, we'll go for that 50% contraction. So breathe in, squeeze to 50%. So you're on the 5th notch on your belt. So it is tight, but it's actually reasonably manageable for a short period. That feels quite good. And release it there and breathe out. And on the next breath in, we'll go to that 30% contraction. So breathe in, 3rd notch in the belt, just a gentle tightening. You'll feel it just inside the creases of your legs here, just crease of your legs and your hips. And it's just all nice and gently held in, a light rib to hip connection, and just all hold together. Perfect. Okay, so I will keep reminding you of that tonight. I remind you to put on your hip belt just to engage the core, all of those cues. This is what I'm getting at, okay? It's this little connection around the hip region. Wonderful. And from here, we're going to properly warm up. So let's start with some real nice big shoulder rolls. Bringing the shoulders forwards, up, back, and down, and really allowing the shoulders to open, the chest to really open at the front. Squeeze those shoulder blades at the back. Lovely. We're going to bring the arms up in front, and we're going to do a bow and arrow action, alternating arms. So when you're ready, bring one arm back, pull it all the way to the back of the room, and sweep it down. Switch sides. Pull it back and sweep it down. When you're ready, pull it back, sweep it down. Lovely. Pull back. Really getting that move nice and controlled. You're getting some rotation through the top part of the spine, getting some movement into the shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, really warming up that upper body. Oh, pulling it back first, isn't it? Pull back and release. Get too excited sometimes, too much going on. Lovely. Okay, and I'm just going to encourage you to bring the arms back down, and as you breathe in, just allow the arms to float up, coming up onto your toes. So warming up the ankles, warming up the shoulders, but just going through the breathing. So it's nice full and wide breath in, floating up, float the arms back and out. And out. Just a couple more, but really enjoying this light, gentle sensation. Okay, and from here, we're going to do some standing dart. So we'll gently allow the shoulders to curve round in front, so the head's coming down, you're really curving in front, but from here, I want you to twist those hands, open them out to the front, and squeeze the shoulder blades at the back, looking up nice and tall. And in the other direction. So we'll crouch down, the upper body really coming round, and then opening up, extending up, the chest comes up and wide, and really feeling that opening. Just a couple more. Lovely. And one more. Oh, fantastic. So we're just going to actually reach out to the lower corners of the room from here. So we're getting a little bit of flexion, side flexion into the side. The feet have come a little tiny bit wider. And I'm reaching out, and I'm going to gradually work this reach higher and higher into the room. So you're just stretching, stretching. There's no rush, no rush. Stretching, getting higher. Lovely. Coming right up, all the way up, up, coming all the way up to the top, over your shoulder, over your head, reaching high, and then bringing it all the way back down. So you're reaching to the corners, and this time, because you're going sideways, you're getting that flexion into the spine. We've reached in every direction. Coming back down, coming down, so that you're reaching now towards the knees. You might want to bring the feet just a little bit closer together for this. Reaching down, reaching down. Wonderful. And now we're going to do a little bit of work where we bring the knee up and then kick it behind us. So bringing the knee up in front and then kicking the bottom behind, switching sides. So just helping it with the hands, but bringing it up in front and then kicking up behind. You're warming up into the hip flexors, warming up into the hamstrings at the back of the leg, those nice big muscles down the back of the thigh. Fantastic. You're doing a great old job. Nearly there, I promise. Last one. Okay, and now we're just going to do, it's a little bit of a balance, but I'm not meaning it as a balance particularly. We're just going to stand and do some rolling with our ankles. So drawing circles with the feet, warming all the way through that ankle joint, and switching directions. Fantastic. Just do a few each side, and we'll do the same on the other side. So just maybe 5 or 10, and then switching directions. Okay, and holding that there. So hopefully we're feeling a little bit more mobile, a little bit warmer. And what we're going to go for now is some balance work. Amazing, I love a balance. So we've got 2 balances as always tonight, or as always when I can think of 2, and I've thought of 2, so we're all good. So we're going to do some reaching to the side and allowing the leg to lift. So we're just going to reach and allow the leg to lift, and we're going to alternate sides to start with. So it's a full reach, leg coming out to the side. So you should be feeling length through the body. You're gently tipping over to the side, and slowly, you've got this nice balancing position. See if you can reach just half an inch further. Can you go that little bit more? Lovely. Okay, just a bit more. Okay, right, now here, let's hold it this side. Hold it, hold it. So the standing leg is soft, the knee is soft, hips are pointing forwards. Imagine I'm between 2 panes of glass. So I've just got this nice wide position, feeling that ankle and knee movements in the standing leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. And we're going to hold it on the other side. Actually, give it a little rub out. Harder than it looks, isn't it? All right, and on the other side, holding it out. So it's a nice, tall, long position. Wonderful. I'm just enjoying this. This is quite a nice position to be in, actually. It's nice, it's long, you're feeling stretched, but still working on the balance. If you need to grab onto something at any time, or you need to drop the foot, please do, that's fine. Just come back when you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. And our other balance, our next balance, if you do have something like a yoga block, so I've got a Pilates block here, probably best not on a soft cushion. On a soft cushion, just use your mat, that's fine. Or if you want to step on a slightly harder surface, if you step off your mat. But I'm using the yoga block just because it is actually a little bit squishy, and it makes it that little bit harder, and it also allows me to raise up, so when I'm moving the moving leg, it doesn't scrape on the floor, it will all become clear. So I'm just going to do some standing circles. So I'm not really worried at this stage about your arms, just doing some small circles with the moving leg. And I'm going to spiral those out. So the standing leg is soft, the knee is soft, the body isn't really moving too much. So I'm not rocking forwards and backwards, the body is as though it's between panes of glass again. You can have the arms wider if that helps, you can grab onto something if that helps. Whoop, bit of a wobble. But I'm going to make those circles bigger, and as they get bigger, it is more of a challenge. Okay, and a couple more really enormous ones. Oh, there we go. Right, and then spiral it back in. So same thing, the opposite direction. So you do have options with the arms. You can have them nice and high, that's quite tricky. You can have them wide, you can have them on your hips. And coming back to those little circles on this side. And by this time, this standing leg has been working hard for quite a while. So rest it there. Wonderful. Give it a rub, give it a pat, get some movement into that leg. Fantastic. And we're going to switch sides. I don't know about you, but my yoga block now has a perfect foot shape in it, so I'll make it even more fun on the other side. Right, okay, get your calm, get your balance. Switch on that core, put on the hipster belt when you're ready. Start with some small circles. Again, do what you like with your arms, that's fine. If you want to have them on the hips, that's good. If you want to take them wider. And these circles are at your pace, by the way, there is no rush. The faster you go, to some extent this is quite tricky if you're maintaining your body position. It's not to say you should go fast. You're looking for that control. Make these circles quite big, we're spiralling out now. Might need to lean gently over to the side. Couple of really big ones. Let's do it, let's do it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. And now the other direction. Lovely. Looking good, guys. If you need to tap down, it's fine. Just come back. Always just come back. Core still engaged. Still feeling good. Standing leg feeling it. Good. Okay, rest it there. Okay, give it a rub, give it a pat. All good. Awesome work. Right, I will for now just move that cushion out of the way. And we are going to come to the end of our mat. And we're going to, as I often do, do some rolling down because it just feels so good. It's just so nice. So when you're ready, get that core engaged, neutral position, shoulders back and down, standing up, looking forwards. Breathe in, switch on the core. As you breathe out, tilt the chin. And we'll just start that peeling down action. Now I know when I'm giving all these cues, I give you a lot and I give you it quick. What I'm expecting is that you will know, if you've been with me a little while, which one of those is the ones you really need to hang on to. So it might be that reminding yourself to keep your shoulders down away from your ears and relax that upper body. It could be switching on the core. It could be coming back up to neutral each time and getting that pelvic positioning so your lower back is in a really good place. Or having the shoulder blades squeezed gently together and drawn down the back. Now we're gradually increasing the range of movement on this roll. On the way down, we're allowing the spine to peel away as though you were standing against a wall and you are slowly peeling it away. And on the way up, you are replacing those vertebrae one by one on top of each other. Lovely. Oh, feels good. When you get down towards the bottom, get that lovely stretch into the hamstrings. If you need to have a little bend in the knees, that's fine. I quite like them reasonably straight, not locked, but just not too bent, because I quite like the stretching you get into the hamstring doing it. It feels quite nice to me. But if it doesn't feel so nice for you, feel free to have a little bit more of a bend in the knees. Okay, and this time coming all the way down to the bottom and just hang in there for a minute. Just hang there. Allow the head to drop down. Still got the core contraction. Knees just soft. If you need them to be a little bit more bent, that's fine. Arms are heavy, shoulders are heavy, head is heavy. It's all heavy. Gently pulling down. Wonderful. And from here, just bend your knees, coming down towards your mat, and we're going to go down to lying on your mat. Okay, so we're going to start lying down tonight. We're going to start doing a shoulder bridge, so you don't need a cushion under your neck, even if you often do for our floor exercises. Please take the cushion away for this particular one. We're going to get our neutral position, so feet together, heels out, toes out. So your feet, knees and hips are aligned. And let's rock through the pelvis. So imagine that torch on the front of the pelvis. It's pointing down towards the wall, pointing up over your head. It's just rocking back and forth. Again, giving you that little bit of motion into the lower back. This can feel really lovely, especially first thing in the morning. If you get a little bit stiff in your lower back, this can be a really nice way just to wake up that lower back. Get it into a good position for the day. So slowly reducing the size of this movement. Coming to settle in a position where there is a small gap under your lower back. Maybe you'll just be able to fit a couple of fingers under. Okay. But it should feel nice and comfy. The hips are level, so not skewed one way or the other. From here, the ribs are relaxed down into the mat. The shoulders are relaxed down into the mat. The shoulder blades are drawn down towards the back pockets. So the ears are a decent distance away from the shoulders. The chin is pointing up, if that's possible to do in this position for you. We will be rolling up and down. Okay, so let's go back for that full and wide breathing. Let's really re-engage with our breathing. Let's get that calm into our time together and our control. Okay, and when you're ready, on your next breath in, breathe in, get that hips to belt on, and as you breathe out, I want you to squeeze the glutes, tilt the pelvis, lower back into the mat, and roll up. So you're pushing through the heels, the knees are easing away, and you are rolling up and rolling down. And as I often like to do, on the first 2 or 3, we're going to do nothing more than rolling up and down. And that's just to get our mobility where we want it to be. If you're finding any little bits of tension, any bits of stickiness, and you want to spend a little bit more time in any position here, please do, or you want to feather your hips through it, please do. Okay, and if you're feeling good with this and you would like to work a little bit harder, next time when you get to the top, float the arms over before peeling the spine back down. There is no rush. Just make sure you get back to neutral before the arms come back. When you're ready, breathe in, the core still switched on, and squeeze it up. So I quite like, and you know, if you're really in tune with your body, maybe you don't need to do this every time, but I quite like it. Every time before I start the next move, I just make sure the core is switched on, shoulder blades down, just have that couple of seconds at the bottom to check, and then go. The temptation is just to whiz up and down, and before you know it, you've forgotten to have the core switched on. You've forgotten it's the glutes that are firing. You've forgotten to be back in that neutral position. Let's really engage and think about that. So you've got this movement absolutely nailed. So next time, if you wish to, and this is an add-on, so feel free, if you're happy with where you're at, stick with what you're doing, that's fine. Next time when you get to the top, I just want you to lift and lower 3 times each side. So switching there. Now what I want you to think about here is keeping those glutes working hard so that the hips remain level. Okay, that is really going to make them fire. So just getting your back to where you should be, and then rolling up. Making sure the movement is smooth. Floating the arms over, and when you are ready, extend and back. Now just have a quick look. The hips are not being allowed to drop. Other side. So this glute is firing. And from the back, if all you could see is my back, you can't tell from the hips which leg is the one that's moving. If you look at it, the hips, hopefully, are remaining really level and still. So get your position. Okay, I'm still not holding tension in the shoulders. The shoulders are still actually pretty relaxed, as in the shoulder blades are pulled down the back. And roll it down. And this is a lovely, lovely piece of strength work for your glutes. Make sure you're in neutral. Are you ready? The knees are tracking in line. So they're not flaring in and out. They're just tracking with the hips. Pressing down with the heel that is down on the floor. Squeezing with the glutes. Lovely. core still on. We're just going to do 2 more sets because I know they're not easy. I'm doing them with you. Okay, all the pain you're feeling, I've got it going too. It's all good. It's all good, and we are getting strong and mobile together. Press that heel down, keep the hips level, keep them high. And roll it down. I think I said one more, didn't I? Let's do it, let's do it. Back in neutral, are you ready? Oh, make sure your top's not falling all over the place. There we go. Okay, so you're just kind of onto your shoulder blades on your back. So legs are remaining level with each other at the thigh. Pressing through the heel, squeezing into the glute. And peeling down. And release. Release, 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 release. Awesome. Okay, let's have a little glute stretch out from here. Taking the ankle over to the opposite knee, pulling that opposite leg in towards the body, stretching out the glute. If you wish to, you can gently push out on the bent knee. And you can also straighten out the back leg. That feels quite nice to me. Just giving a little bit of a stretch into those glutes, which work so hard on a shoulder bridge. So hard. Release it down, let's switch sides. Oh, yes. Really nice stretch out. Feels good. Feels good. Okay, and release it down. We're just going to do some hip rolls. So if you want to take your feet roughly to the width of your mat or so, I'm just going to allow, the arms can be nice and wide if you've got the space to do that. You might want to have them in a cactus arms position. If you've got the space, you can pop them nice and wide. Keep those shoulders down towards the mat and just allowing the knees to roll side to side. And this time, when your legs come towards me, just take that top leg over the top and holding it down if you want to. Keeping the far shoulder down though. Feeling that stretch into the lower back. It's a lovely twist, a lovely, lovely twist. Now let's take it back. We'll take it over to the other side. I'm just going to shimmy myself over. So I'm not kicking the curtain, it's all going all over the place. There we go. Oh, nice big stretch across. And release that there. We'll bring that back. Okay. The next move we're going to do is a version of the 100. So if you do tend to have a cushion or a towel or anything behind your head, now is the time to get it. Get yourself nice and comfy. We're going to get back to that neutral position. So the feet aren't quite as close in towards the bottom on this one. But there's still, the knees are pointing up towards the ceiling and we've still got feet, knees and hips aligned. We'll just rock through the pelvis just a couple of times to return us to that neutral position. When we're in that neutral, just allowing the upper body to relax, allowing the arms to relax, and the chin should be pointing straight up, so you're comfortably looking up towards the ceiling. Okay. Follow my breathing. Breathe in, switch on the core, and as you breathe out, just float one leg up towards the ceiling. Okay, from here, if you're all nice and comfy, on the next breath out, I'm going to get you to float your arms up. As always, I'm going to have to waft my cushions out of the way. Float your arms up, and we're going to do some chicken wings. So the elbows going towards the waist, reaching up high, and then coming back down. When they get back down, I'm going to ask that you scissor the legs 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then chicken wings on the other side. So on the chicken wings, think about that tension in the back as the elbows come down towards the waist. And we'll do the scissoring. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go again. So, how do we increase the intensity a little bit on this if you wish to? If you're good as you are, just keep going. You don't have to have the arms in. However, if you would like to up the ante a little bit, that leg that is resting down, imagine it is on a very, very thin piece of ice. So if you do anything more than the lightest of presses, it will go straight through. Think about keeping that gap under your lower back without moving it. So it is really still, the core is holding place, holding the hips where they want to be, holding the pelvis in place. That's it, lovely. Now if you wish to, you can just have this with both legs raised as you're going. So it might be that you're here and then you just tap, tap, tap and bring it back up. Feet, knees and hips still align though. Calves are relaxed, feet are relaxed. Tap, tap, tap. Don't allow that tummy to dome. The tummy is under control. The core is holding the position of the lower back. The shoulder blades are still. Pull down the back. There's no tension in the upper back. And in case I forget to say it, keep breathing. It's always a good sign, breathing. Tap, tap, tap. Now don't forget there's no pressure to be at this level and you can change level at any time. If you feel like you're working too hard or not working hard enough, you've got options. Fantastic. Really working into that upper back, the latissimus dorsi, those big back wing muscles at the top of the back, working these hip flexors. Shouldn't be holding tension into the legs though. Okay, just a couple more. A couple more and I'm going to collapse if I'm honest. It's all good. Keep that core in position. Oh, you're doing a good old job. Okay, last one, last one, last one. Let's make it a good one. Still hold the control. We'll do the tap, 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 tap. Keep the leg down this time. Oh, fantastic. Wonderful work. Let's have a little hip flex release. So bring one leg in, holding onto the shin, let the other leg ease away. That was really good. Really, really good. Wonderful control into the core, that one. Strength. You've got the upper body going as well with the chicken wings. Loads going on. Fantastic. And switch sides. So nice to have a calming, relaxing stretch. Feel like you really earn it, don't you? It's great. All right, let's release that. We're going to roll over onto our side. Okay. So from here, now it's optional whether you want your cushion or not. I'm going to rest on my upper arm. It's completely up to you. If it's not so comfy on your shoulder, by all means, use your cushions, that's fine. So balance-wise, you can have the hand in front or on the side or pointing up. Let's get our alignment good so our ankles, knees and hips are stacked. I'm easing the top hip away to pull the waist gently away from the mat. So just imagine you could poke a straw just underneath your waist there. We've got the shoulder blades drawn down into the back, the spine is long, so I'm feeling nice and long on my side. And it is a challenge to stay balanced like this, so do what you need to do in terms of your balance. If you want to have the hand in front, that's fine. Okay, when you're ready, breathe in, switch on the core, and as you breathe out, float that top leg up. And we're going to go forwards and back, and you're really going to feel this on the balance actually. So we'll go 3 times forwards and back, and then down, and then a double leg lift 3 times. So you've got this torpedo, the double leg lift, and then back into the forwards and back. Now you'll find with the forwards and back, you have this natural desire to rock forwards and back as you're going. Try and hold your position. 1, 2, 3, and again. Up. So again, to give you those options on the arms, you can have it lying down the leg. You can have the hand in front, and you might find that you have it in front for part of the move, and then maybe you can take it away for the next part of the move. I'm trying to get you to work into this abductor muscle at the side. So to do that, you need to maintain the hips being stacked, still easing that top hip away throughout the entire move, even the double leg lift. If you ease that top hip away, so you've got that sensation of that little straw space under your waist. You're not really lifting particularly high. Core still switched on, shoulder blades still drawn down, not holding any tension in the upper body. Looking good. Okay, one more. And then double leg lift. 2, 3, release. Okay, have a little stretch. Just release that tension in the leg. If you need to give it a rub, give it a pat, get some movement. So, we're going to come over onto all fours. Now, we're going to do one not for the faint-hearted. We're going to have a go at press-ups, which is all good. So we're going to go from the all fours position. However, I want to focus these press-ups working into your chest rather than working into the triceps. To work into the chest, I need your hands wider. So for me, given the size of my arms, I find that basically my thumbs are pretty much touching the edge of my mat. If you're way taller than me, they're going to be a lot wider. If you're not as big, then they might be a little bit narrow, okay? What I'm aiming for is at the bottom of this move, when you get there, your elbow is directly over your wrist. Top tip, if you do tend to have uncomfortable wrists, you might find it better doing it onto fists. That might feel good. You might find if you do it onto the side of a block and just release that pressure into the wrist. Just see what works for you, okay? This is something you might need to play with. So let's get a neutral position first. We'll just get on neutral position before we take our hands wide. So, feet, knees and hips aligned. You can barely see your feet past your thighs, and that's all good. We're just going to rock under and over. Just to, again, give us that movement into the lower back, that nice strong position, and finding that neutral position where there is a small arch into the lower back. The spine is long, I'm looking straight down, chin pointing straight down, shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades pull down the back. The way that you do that is imagine screwing your hands into the mat. My hands aren't actually moving, my middle finger is pointing towards the wall above my head. But I am imagining screwing them in, and what that does is the inner crease of your elbow then points up in your direction past your head. Okay, now we're going to go for this chest press up, so nice and wide. And there are 3 versions. Have a quick look before you choose. You could go from here. So your nose is basically coming between your hands, give or take. If you feel like maybe you're a little bit stronger and you'd like to work a little bit harder, I'd like you to work from kind of a half plank starting position. So your head down to your knees is a straight line, and you're just going to go down and up. So the feet are flat against the floor, kind of the tops of the feet. That's your next option. If you'd really like to have a good crack tonight and you're like, do you know what, I'm strong, full plank for me. So full plank, hands wide, going to go down and up. And if you saw, my back would have been, if you'd have put a broomstick down my back, it'd hit the back of your head, in between your shoulders and your bum basically, and it's a nice straight long line. What we're going to do is 5 press-ups and then go back into a child's pose. If you can't manage 5, by all means do what you can do and then go into a child's pose. If you can't do 1, just go into a child's pose, chill out, I won't know, it's all good. Okay, but I want you to choose the level that's right for you, and you can switch it about, so we're going to do 3 sets. Okay, so I'm going to have a go at these full press-ups, see how we get on. When you're ready then, screw those hands into the mat, find your starting position, breathe in, switch on your core. As you breathe out, down, press it up. Don't forget we're doing 5. Nice and slow and controlled. Nose coming down in front of you. Long position. 5. Okay, and bring the knees down if they were up. Ease it back into a child's pose. So just releasing that lower back into the mat. It's releasing down. Your bum's going close to your feet if you can. You're allowing the shoulders to relax. Okay, and when you're ready, come back to your starting position again. So just a quick reminder, you might be here, you might be there, or you might be doing full press up. Okay, choose your position. When you're ready, breathe in, switch on the core, and let's go. So you're going to be counting 5, slow and controlled. The bottom of the move, the elbows are directly above the wrists. The shoulders don't go below the elbow line. When you've done your 5, coming back into that child's pose. We've only got 1 more set. There's only 1 more set, so just choose the right level for you. And what you might find is you're like, do you know what, I wanted to try 1 on my toes. I want to try 1 in that longer kind of half plank position, and then I'm going to drop back for the other 4. That's fantastic. Okay? Okay, right, when you're ready, choose your position, make sure your core is switched on, nice and long through the spine, and let's go. Keep breathing. Don't go blue on me. Looking down towards the mat, getting to your 5th one, way! Back down into that child's pose, and release. Oh, you've worked for this one. You worked for all of them, to be fair, but you've worked for this one too. Okay, coming back to that all fours position, we're just going to do some cat and cow, okay? So from here, back where the hands are underneath the shoulders, just allow the back up to the ceiling, and then drop the tummy down looking up. And we're going to move around, just making sure we are allowing our back to relax and release however it needs to tonight. So a reminder, all these good things we can do, so we can be drawing circles with our hips in either direction, or figures of 8, or you might want to have the hands over to one side, rocking a little bit forwards and back, or just holding a position, lengthening out through one side, or lengthening out through the other side. And this is going to be different for everybody, where you want to spend that extra bit of time tonight. Rolling gently forward, so if that's comfy on your wrists, you get a little bit more into the upper back, and the shoulders just past the wrists, pulling it backwards, so more towards a child's pose. I'll get you down into your lower back. We're just pulling across. Lovely. Hopefully that is feeling absolutely super. Okay. Righty-ho. From here we're going to roll over onto the other side, because we have to do those side kicks. So again, ankle, knees and hips are stacked. Arm wherever you need it for balance, the other arm. Spine is nice and long. Gently ease the top hip away. And when you're ready, we're going to breathe in, switch on the core. As you breathe out, float the leg up. We're going to go forwards and back 3 times. Okay, and then just raise and lower. This feels really nice. And again, you're back into that forward and back kick. So still pushing that top hip away down to the end of the room. And a raise and lower. That's it. Working that outer thigh, so trying not to let these hips roll over too much. So trying to keep this position stable. Keep the top hip pushed down. If you want to, you can just slip one arm behind and just have your fingers just under your waist if that works for you. Just to remind yourself to keep the waist slightly raised. Pushing that top hip away. You might want to play about with your balance. So you might need the hand in front. You might want to have a play with how far you allow the leg to come forwards and back. And raise and lower. That's good. Starting to feel it in this outer thigh. Right here. There we go. Play. See if you can manage a slightly harder position with your balance. Have a go. Lovely. There we go, raise and lower. Wonderful. Should be feeling it. Squeeze it up. So working that adductor and the abductor. The adductor on the lower leg, that muscle that brings the leg in towards the body. Abductor on the top leg. Still got that core switched on. Still easing that top hip away. Here we go, up, up, and last time. Nearly there, nearly there. Oh, last one. Hey, release it there. Relax, release. Give it a good rub. Wonderful. So I'm going to get you here to roll onto your tummy. We're going to do a variation on a swan dive. So, swan dive, I will take my glasses off before they fall off. It's always a worry. Swan dive, traditionally we would be in that capital E position. Toes together, let the heels flop out to the side. What I'm going to ask that you do is you bring one hand towards kind of level with your shoulder and the other hand a little bit higher. So tilt the pelvis under. Imagine you've got an ice block just underneath your tummy button, and when you're ready, I want you just to lift and look over this shoulder with the hand low down. So we're doing it a little bit, focusing onto one side. So lift and lower, and then switch the arms position, and you're going to lift and look over, lift and look over. And last time, lift, look over, switch sides. So you're just getting a little bit of a variation. It's the upper back that's working. You're pressing down a little bit with the hands. Switch side. You're getting a little bit of a twist into it as well. Okay, one more time like this. You're just lengthening through the side of the hand that is up, using the back. Okay, and release that there. And I'm going to get you just to now do the lower half of the swan dive. So you can have your fingers just under your head, your forehead, if that's comfy, or maybe your fist, something like that. But just having your forehead in a comfortable long line. And when you're ready, still having that core contracted, imagine that ice block under your tummy. You're just going to lift the legs and lower. So tonight we've isolated really the upper body from the lower body. And we've had a go at bringing a little bit of a twisting motion into the swan dive. Now always, as always, if that wasn't feeling great for you, please don't do stuff that hurts. Squeeze those glutes, the legs are long, there's no tension in the feet, there's no tension in the lower legs. You're just getting that sensation of the glutes working. The glutes have worked hard on those shoulder bridges earlier. And now we're working them to lengthen through the legs. Core still contracted, tummy button still. Gently ease up away from the mat with that ice cube under the tummy. And again, if this doesn't feel great on your lower back, that's okay, you can take a break. Or you might just choose to do it one leg at a time. That might just be the level that you prefer to work at tonight. Or you can go back to 2 legs. Okay, just 2 more. And relax in there. And we are just in time to have a lovely old stretch out. So if it's comfy for you to do so, we're going to have a quad stretch lying on our front. Again, you might want to have your hand just rested down, your head rested onto the back of your hand, something like that. I'm going to encourage you to grab onto the shoelace area of one of your feet and pull it in towards the bottom. Press your hips into the mat. Press your foot into your hand. So you're trying to get that gap between your bottom and your heel. Your knees are pointing away from you. That's it, fantastic. And release that. We'll switch sides. So same thing on the other side. Just enjoying that stretch into the quads, the front of the thighs. And release that. We're going to gently push up into an all fours position. Okay, and from here, from all fours, we're going to have a calf stretch. So pushing the toes into the mat. You're going to push the heel over the top of the toe. Feel the stretch into the calf of the straight leg. So gently easing your body weight backwards, pushing that heel back towards the wall. That's it, lovely. And switch sides. That feels good. Making those calves nice and long. Okay, and from here, coming back to all fours, we're just going to pop up to a downward dog. So hands under shoulders, tuck the toes, pushing the hips up towards the ceiling. So you may or may not get your heels to the ground. That's not a big worry. You may or may not want a bit more of a bend in your knees. Your knees can be soft, your elbows are nice and soft. Hands are still shoulder width apart. You're pushing the hips up. You're looking towards kind of your shins, somewhere like that. And pushing the chest down towards the ankles. A lovely long position. So from here we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet, keeping the legs reasonably straight and slowly rolling up through the spine. Wonderful. We're going to have a nice little chest stretch here. So taking the hands behind the body, just grasping behind the body, squeeze the shoulder blades together, looking up and opening through the chest, shoulders pulling back and down. Feels really nice. So this chest has worked hard. We did those press ups earlier, and that's a real one for them. We'll have a little tricep stretch as well. Not one we do very often, but again, press ups work the triceps quite hard. So bringing the arm up so that the bicep is right next to your ear, and push the arm behind you so that hand's going down the back. You might not be able to reach right over the top, so it might be pressing from the front. Either is good for me. So pressing it backwards, but keep it making sure you don't trap your head. Give yourself enough space. Fantastic. And switch sides. That's it. Wonderful. We'll just have a couple of nice big breaths in. So back in our neutral stance. In and out. In and out. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like my workouts, please share, drop me a comment, let me know what you enjoyed, and I can't wait to be with you again on our next workout. Okay, great to see you. Bye.